As the demand for telemedicine grows, so does the need for connectivity. 5G meets that need. Qualcomm remains focused on giving doctors and patients superior, security-rich 5G connectivity. Learn more at qualcomm.com/InventionAge.
Support for this podcast comes from AT&T. You know, throughout history, switching to new technology wasn't complicated. Ancient Roman aqueducts made water fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Electricity made candles fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Today, we have AT&T 5G. It's fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Put into a historical context, yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan, may not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Before we get started, support for this podcast comes from Boost with Facebook, whose podcast, Boost My Business with David Fisher, features unique perspectives and insight from business leaders and small business owners. Hear stories and anecdotes about businesses just like yours. Gain insight on what it takes to grow a business, and learn from both the mistakes and triumphs of others. Listen to Boost My Business wherever you get your podcasts.
Literally just hit play when you did that. Hello and welcome to the Farm Traveler Podcast. I'm joined today by probably the hottest, cutest, smartest, kindest guest that we've had on the show so far.
Oh, shucks.
Allie's on the show. Hey, Allie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
So I somehow roped you in to being on a little review episode for season 2, and this is actually the second time we've recorded it, because the first time I deleted it, but I would let you listen to it. It sounded like, hey, my name's Trevor. It sounded horrible. I don't know why. But anyway, welcome. How are you doing? Are you good?
Good.
Good. All right. So did you have a good 2020?
It's 2020.
It's probably crazy 2020. We've learned a lot. We've had a lot of good episodes. Have you listened to some? I know it's been crazy the past couple of months, so you get a pass. It's okay. We've had some good guests on. It's been cool. We've had, I think, 35,000 downloads this year, which is great.
Nice.
I know. Thank you. And we've had t-shirts. We have the new Farm Traveler t-shirts, which is awesome. Maybe next year we can have 100,000 downloads. So we'll see. So we're going to review kind of 2020 and all the episodes we have. I have my phone and we can look up some of the episodes on Apple. So yeah, do you have any questions or anything you want to reminisce on the episodes that we've had in 2020 in season 2, which is, it was technically conventional versus organic. And so we kind of follow that. We kind of didn't. But we interviewed a lot of organic growers and a lot of conventional growers. So it was cool. So you have a question list, which is awesome. So go out of order. Since we've already done them, go out of order and we'll see how they are.
Okay, first question. What top 3 things have you learned about organic versus conventional farming?
Look at that. That's a great question. All right, top 3 things I've learned with conventional and organic growing. 1, most of the farmers that we interviewed, they weren't only organic growers or conventional. Like most of them were growing both. Whether that was somebody like Wish Farms, who they're based down in Tampa, but they have some, I think in California, they grow organic as well as conventional, which was really neat. I thought that you just have something just an organic operation, but they grow both because they're both profitable. But organic is going to be much more cost up front because, you know, you've got to spray more there, you've got to take care of them more. So that's why they have conventional to help pay for that. So that was interesting. The second one is probably also about that, kind of. I didn't know that most people, when they think of organic, they think that it's not sprayed with any sort of pesticides at all, which somebody being in ag, and I've known about that, a lot of consumers think that, sorry, I'm picking up stuff off the desk, I don't know why. A lot of people that they honestly think, and it's totally fine, they think organic crops are just picked out in the field and that's it. Like they're just grown by nature. They don't know that that chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides are applied, but they have to be naturally occurring, like peppermint oil, spearmint oil, copper sulfate, stuff like that. So that was very interesting. And number 3, I've learned also another thing with organic, how in-depth the standards are for the USDA. Like when we were talking with Crowd Cow, there was a guy that they were talking with that was raising beef cattle, and he couldn't be certified organic because he had weather treated fence posts on his ranch.
Wow.
And because of that, because it would be next to the grass that the cow would eat, because of that he couldn't be certified organic, which was very interesting. So a lot of hoops you got to jump through. It's not like you're just like, oh, I'm going to be organic. You have to go through, and I think there's like a period you have to produce it for 2 to 3 years before you can apply and get the organic label. So it's very interesting. Could be wrong, but that's what I've heard in the past. So very interesting. Great question. Learned a lot about organic and conventional.
Nice. Okay, question number 2. In 2020, we're all dealing with COVID. How has that affected the farmers and even the podcast?
All right. So it has affected the podcast. It's so funny answering these questions a second time because we've had to redo this episode. But, so COVID has impacted the podcast a little bit because I've had COVID twice. The first time was probably a false positive because I didn't have it, but you did a great job taking care of me. And we even quarantined for 2 weeks. So that sucked. And the second time definitely had it. So it was the flu. I mean, it felt like the flu, but luckily I think I was really sick on a Wednesday and I uploaded the episode on a Tuesday. So I don't think we missed it at all, and luckily everybody has already been online and everybody's been using Zoom. And so it's kind of, I don't know, the podcast really didn't suffer from it because we were already doing virtual. So that was kind of nice. Mm-hmm. As for farmers, and we talked about this earlier, farmers have been selling more direct to consumers. Like there was one farmer on Facebook, and he put out a post like, hey, if you come here, we'll sell you a box of produce for really cheap. And it was like cucumbers and squash. Or dang it. It was zucchini and squash. I can never tell the two apart. But anyway, and so
zucchini and cucumbers?
Zucchini and cucumbers, yes. I mean, they look the same. But anyway, so farmers are this guy, the farmer, he sold directly to consumers without selling to a processing facility or a distribution company or a grocery store. And so farmers can sell it real cheap to consumers, but still make much more of a profit. And so farmers are finding ways to convert products that are either meant to go directly to restaurants or directly to a store or directly to a distribution company. They're finding ways to convert that to go directly to consumers, which is really neat. I'm trying to avoid the word really cool, which I use a lot.
So they're adapting pretty well.
They are adapting a lot. And I saw a lot of posts like, oh, why aren't they donating produce to food banks and stuff? Well, they did, but food banks only have so much refrigeration, and most of the fresh produce, besides things like potatoes, onions, stuff like that, most of the fresh produce needs some sort of refrigeration. So there's no place to store it. And places like Disney were already donating, like large theme parks or hotels or tourist destinations were already donating it. So it's like, what do you do? There's been a lot of like landfill and stuff like that, or like the produce, or like onions, for example, going directly to a landfill. So it's been weird. I think it's getting a whole lot better, or not a whole lot better. It's getting better for sure, which is good. But yeah, still weird. Hopefully things are better in 2021. Great question.
Okay, so unrelated to organic versus conventional, but this year you also interviewed one of your favorites, the namesake of Farm Traveler.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
I'm her wife here.
Yeah, you
are. One of your favorites, Jack Maxwell. So what was it like interviewing him?
Yeah, so Jack Maxwell was awesome. We had planned that one out for months and months, and luckily this was another thing. COVID happened and everybody was quarantining and his schedule was free. And so we interviewed him. It was super neat. I mean, learning about him and Booze Traveler. I mean, that's why we named Farm Traveler. His show is great. It was so weird to see somebody that you watch on TV and then you're having a cool conversation with him. And I mean, he was super down to earth, really neat to talk with him and even learn about hemp and how his new show on YouTube, The High Road with Jack Maxwell, what he's doing, how he's trying to educate people on hemp production. And it's more than, just smoking pot. I mean, there are a lot of medical benefits from it. So that was phenomenal. We toasted. I didn't tell him to get a beer or anything, but I had a beer. He had a glass of water. And I remember you were taking pictures and like filming part of it. So that was really neat.
He was fangirling.
Oh, I was fangirling hard. I told her to take a video whenever we toasted. And so Allie gets so mad if for any reason I snap at her, and I will do it just in a sarcastic way. And so, but I was like snapping at her off camera to like let her know that that we were about to toast, and so to start recording, and I'm pretty sure that will be the only time in our marriage I can ever get away with that. Even then, I could feel you just like staring daggers at me. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get your attention.
It was okay. That one time.
But yeah, that was great. That was awesome. Kind of off topic, but we're trying to get Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's brother. That one's been in the works for a while, but he's got a bunch of restaurants and stuff in Colorado that he's trying to figure out with COVID. So I've gone back and forth with his publicist. So we'll go from there. We'll get that one figured out. I'm hoping maybe he can help me get Elon on too. But it's weird. I want to have Kimball Musk on, but not bring up his brother because I'm sure he gets that a lot, but also bring up his brother. So I'm going to try to figure out like a good middle ground there. So yeah.
Nice.
Great question. Sadie is asleep at our feet. She's enjoying the new podcast room office.
Okay. Last question. Looking forward into the future of Farm Traveler, what are some of your goals for the next year, next season?
Oh man. All right. Goals of Farm Traveler. Well, we have a pretty good audience. We average about 350 downloads in 40 to 50 days, which that's like a good metric to measure podcasts. So that makes us at like the top 92nd, 95th percentile, which is amazing. So continue to build the podcast. Maybe some more merch, like more Farm Traveler shirts and stuff like that. I would like to get maybe 100,000 downloads in next year. That means doing more Monday show episodes, which honestly we haven't done in like 4 or 5 months because things have been so crazy. More of that. Hopefully some more videos. I want to try to do some virtual farm tours. There's a bunch of really cool videos online where people are like actually at a farm and they're touring it, but because of COVID, I think we could figure out a way where we could like get on Zoom or something, or have somebody pre-record, or I could pre-record questions and they could record it, their answer. And like Derek Josie, for example, TDF Honest Farming, I could ask him, hey, could you show me your milking parlor? And then he records it, shows us, and then we could maybe edit together a whole video.
It's a cool idea.
We'll see. Thank you. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. Doing some more videos. I'm very visual, and so I think people, I don't know, I like learning visually, and I think people might like that. So we'll see. So I don't know, making more content, making more podcast episodes, maybe making them longer. Right now we're sitting at around 30. Not Allie was like, oh God, no.
I don't know about that.
No, our episodes are around 30 to 40 minutes, but maybe experimenting going over an hour. We'll see. But of course, we have the new studio room, so I'm going to try to start recording more video interviews and uploading them to YouTube and Facebook. And so we'll see how that goes.
What about anything on the radio?
Oh, yeah. This is cool. I feel like this is one of those God things. So Tim Hamrick, a friend of the show, was like, hey, I'm part of this website called aginfo.net, and we have a bunch of radio stations, and he is moving on to do something else there. And so I'm going to be taking over the Southeast Ag update at Ag Info. And so if you're in Florida, Georgia, or Alabama, and you have your favorite radio station, you might be hearing me sometime soon. So get ready to either turn the channel or preferably listen to the channel. It'll be like a quick little snippet about what's going on in the Southeast ag-wise. It'll be neat. I'm excited. It'll be 5 days a week. That's going to be fun. Interview a bunch of people, and even, which is phenomenal, get to promote the Farm Traveler podcast as well, which will be great. So it's a win-win. So that should be cool. Awesome. I heard Daniel Leonard, who I'm going to try to get on a couple times. He's been on the show before. I'm going to steal his line. He said that his dad said that he has a face for radio. And I think I have a face for radio.
No.
So Allie's saying that out of sympathy. I'm kidding. But yeah, so that's been great. 2020 has been great. We've had a huge year with the podcast. It's been great. We have shirts, we have merch, we have a new house, we have everything. So, well, not everything, but we're getting there. So yeah, have you enjoyed the episodes this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's been a while. Allie would really listen to them religiously when we were at the gym. But, you know, the gyms have been closed for COVID.
I'm a little behind.
That's okay. I honestly can't. I think the last podcast I listened to was like 5 weeks ago, and it was a micro podcast. So I think with 2021, I'm going to try to have more of and Allie's probably going to laugh at this, I'm going to try to actually wake up early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be productive, journal, read, maybe listen to podcasts and stuff. We'll see how that goes. Do you have any big goals for 2021? You finished your MBA from Auburn.
Yes.
And you're going to have a lot more free time. And you've been thinking about doing a baking Instagram.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Maybe.
We'll see. So we'll have to share some videos or something.
Yeah, maybe you can interview some bakers like I've been telling you.
Yes. So the first time we recorded this, I couldn't remember her name, the pioneer woman. I called her the Prairie Lady. Which, I mean, honestly, that might be like a good name for like a discount lady. Hey, I'm the Prairie Lady here. Let's make some biscuits or something. I don't know. That'd be hilarious. All right, we're stalling. All right, so this is going to be the last episode only of 2020. So we'll see you all, or you'll hear us. Not we'll see you, but I guess whatever. You'll listen to more episodes in 2021. In the middle of January, we'll upload some more videos. Thank you so much for listening. We've got a great audience. Thank you all for listening to The Farm Traveler, listening to my voice, listening to Allie whenever she gets on. And here is a special shout out to my main man who listens to these podcast episodes and is curious about where I am, but he hears me. My main man, Bruce. My dog from Daytona, who's with my mom and dad. Hey, mom and dad. Hey, Bruce. He's probably going to be like so confused. He is spoiled. Would you agree that Bruce is spoiled?
Yes.
Yeah,
just like Sadie.
Just like Sadie. So my dad now takes Bruce to go see the goats every other day. And my mom spoils him with all sorts of treats and stuff. So he's living the good life. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Well, hey, Bruce. Hey, mom and dad. Hey, everybody. All right, well, thanks so much for listening to the Farm Traveler Podcast. I'm Trevor Williams, and
I'm Allie, and have happy holidays and happy New Year.
Happy holidays, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2020. All right, okay, bye. Say bye.
2021.
Sorry. No, we will not see you in 2020. If we wake up and January 1st is 2020 again, it's going to be Groundhog Day. We're all going to be
Please,
like, oh, no, yeah. All right, well, we'll see you in 2021. Okay, bye.